Music Times Productions.
Did you see that shit? MMA podcast. Hosted by mixed martial arts journalist Mike Strauss, aka Strauss21, and Chicago's number one underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal.
Yo, Mike.
What's up, bro?
Did you see that shit?
What shit?
Cuba's coming to Chicago.
It's official, right?
Yeah, the freak of nature himself, Yoel Romero, I love you, Robert Whittaker, is coming straight to Chicago. I am excited.
You're what? You're what?
I am.
I know you're not excited for that
I'm
fight.
straight up like erection having for that fight. I came in my pants when I saw it.
Viewer discretion is advised. You are listening to Did You See That Shit? Mixed Martial Arts Podcast.
We don't give a fuck about your goddamn feelings.
It is official. UFC 222 Whittaker Romero 2 for the middleweight strap.
I love you, Chicago.
It's looking pretty good to me.
Chicago is the card of the year. I'm saying it right now. If you don't believe me, guess what? Come over to Chicago. We'll snuff you, fool.
Lots of things going on besides the Chicago card. We'll get to it. But first, let's take a quick rundown of it. I know we kind of do it a lot here, but fuck. Not butt fuck, but we butt fuck.
If you're into that shit, we don't care.
No, definitely don't care, but I'm just distinguishing the two. There's a comma in between, not a run-on. So, UFC 225. Let's take a quick look at the card. Whittaker Romero headlines it. Then you have Overeem Blades, very intriguing fight. Then Gedalia Esparza, Pettis versus Benavidez. And then this just added Rashard Evans, Anthony Smith at 205 pounds.
Timeout. Rashad Evans is still fighting.
Not only is he still fighting, he's going back to his weight that he made his most significant impact.
Heavyweight or light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight. Well, that's fair to point out, though, because he did win the Ultimate Fighter at heavyweight.
Yeah,
but he did win the light heavyweight title, so.
Quick, another timeout. He's a clear candidate for 195, by by I'm going to say that.
If they open a 195-pound division?
Yeah, he's
absolutely.
A clear candidate
if he hangs on.
Yeah. Holy mo... Rashad Evans fighting. I haven't cared about that for a while.
Well, probably not going to make the main card, but it's still, I'm liking this fight.
I like him at the desk, man.
Yeah, he's not bad at the desk. I like this guy, Anthony Smith, though. He's a very interesting guy.
I haven't ever seen him fight. Well, I know it's sad.
And I know you're really excited about Curtis Blades fighting Overeem. That's a fight that Curtis wanted and he's going to get, man.
Hometown hero, man.
I don't know if I would consider him a hero.
He's my hero.
He's a hometown dude coming home for sure. He has an opportunity to become a hero for sure. If he wins and he rises to that occasion, that definitely propels him into probably the #1 guy for that title.
You want to know why he's my hero? Because his nickname is Razor Blades.
He does have one of the better nicknames.
He will always be my hero. Not as much as Daniel Cormier. I'm sorry, Daniel.
We're going to be speaking with Curtis Blades in the forthcoming days. We'll have that up in just a matter of no time. Also, a fight just announced for UFC 224. Brian Kelleher, he's taking on John Lineker. What is your initial reaction? And to make that clear, that is a yawn. That was not his stomach. He is not hungry. That was a yawn.
John Lineker. Wow, this was a great fight a year ago.
That's your go-to line.
I'm sorry. It's just true. Some of these fights I don't care about anymore. Well, it's really bad.
They do have to just fill.
You got to fill a lot of things. But, man, I used to care so much more. Now I don't care about John Lineker.
Well, how about this Paulo Costa? He's out. He's out of his fight against Uriah Hall.
Wait, you mean the most beautiful man in the world?
That's what you call him, yeah, sure.
What happened?
I don't know the details.
Did they hurt his beautiful face?
I'm not sure. He's out of the fight with Uriah Hall, though, at Fight Night Atlantic City.
I actually cared about that.
Well, you might care more because your boy, Eric Anders, tweets that, put me in, coach, let me get that fight. I hope the matchmakers listen because I think a fight with Eric Anders and Uriah Hall is maybe more interesting and more fun than the original fight with Costa.
I actually care about this. You know, who's the matchmaker for that division, for the middleweight division?
I believe it's Sean Shelby.
Sean Shelby. Just talk to me. Make it happen. Pay him whatever he needs to be paid. Make it happen.
Also, Nico Montana. She hopes to get back to action at UFC 226. She had arthritic turf toe, and she at one point said that she really seriously questioned her future. That's really scary considering she is the first ever 125-pound division champion.
That's arthritic turf toe.
Sounds painful.
Sounds like very painful. I stubbed my pinky toe. I'm done for the day.
an early morning bong hit and a hangnail, I'm out.
I don't hear from you for weeks.
Speaking of not hearing from in weeks, how about Ronda Rousey, man? She says that a UFC return is probably as likely as her returning to the Olympics.
No duh.
She ain't coming back.
I know. Oh, man, she's really letting us into some insight here, you know? Like, we had no clue after somebody smashed her face in.
And then Rick Story, he signs with the PFL.
Makes sense.
Bellator 196 has a new main event. Gallagher gets hurt. And then from nowhere, Benson Henderson, fresh off his Polaris 6 competition, steps in to fight Roger Huerta.
The biggest thighs I've ever seen at the lightweight division. I'm excited to see this.
You're referring to Benson.
Yeah, dude, you are seeing those legs. They're just ridiculous. I'm like, dang, how did he ever make a lightweight?
He does have, I don't know if this is a lightweight fight or a 170 fight. Either way, it's going to be an exciting fight because for people that don't know, dude's been competing this whole time at a pretty high level.
Yeah. You know, I feel like this fight's a little late in Benson Henderson's career. A little like this would,
you think every fight's late in everybody's career.
Yeah, well, because I want him when I want him.
And if you haven't figured it out yet, you are listening to the Did You See That Shit Mixed Martial Arts Podcast.
We are the fastest growing podcast out here. If you don't know, you're going to know. We are now number 8 on iTunes. We went down a little bit, but we're coming for that number 1 spot.
Well, we trend from day to day, but I wouldn't say fastest, but we're one of the fastest. We'll make it there.
You're way too humble.
And some things. Anybody listening that knows me truly will be like, who the fuck is that?
Everybody's like, man, Apollo talks way too much smack.
We appreciate all love and support, guys. If you guys want to interact with us, hit us up on all the social media platforms, whether it's Instagram, Twitter. It's all the same. It's DYSTSP. There's a little underscore in between there.
Or just find us at didyousee.shit.com. You can find all our content there, logged, dated. It looks beautiful, man. Check it out.
Not only there, you could find it iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, as well as YouTube. If you want to have a more close personal interaction with us, give us a call, 708-669-4777. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know if there's something that you love, hate. Let us know something. Shoot us an email, mike@didyousee.shit.com.
And if you send something that you hate, we don't give a damn.
Penis pics.
No dick pics. Unless it's like really good.
Unless it's artsy.
Like put lighting. You know what? If you're going to send us a dick pic, put some goddamn work into that
Put some
shit.
thought into it. Don't just put a Christmas wreath around it and call it a day.
Yeah, we want some lighting.
No homo.
Pause.
You can get away with anything by saying that.
It's the same with pause.
I don't know what's that pause terminology.
Pause is it's the same as no homo, but just pause.
I've never. What do you use it for though?
It's like, hey man, you know your eyes are looking real pretty today. Pause.
Wait, that's supposed to mean like no homo?
Yeah.
I'm getting old, man.
Dude, slang changes every day, just like MMA, man.
You know what's not getting old?
What?
These headphones.
I love these headphones.
As good as the day I bought my first set. Leaks Pro, LYXPRO.com. Listen, they're not just a headphone company. They have anything you need, whether you're a podcaster, whether you're just a dude that loves your music, or whether you're an audiophile like me and Apollo. They are the company for you. Leaks Pro, LYXPRO.com. They have anything from microphones, XLR cables, headphones, soundproofing equipment. I mean, so much gear I can't even sit here and tell you it all.
You want it? They got it.
Phenomenal company, guys. Check them out. Leaks Pro. Tell them that Chicago's #1 underground comedian, Apollo Taj Mahal, sent you, and they might even hit you with a little discount. We're waiting on a code, so
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get that soon for you guys, but they'll take care of you either way. LeaksPro.com. Nick Newell is back in the news, Apollo. LFA 35 last weekend. He won via neck crank in the first round, improves to 14-1. Now listen, if people don't know who Nick Newell is, he is the gentleman that was born with a congenital amputee in his left arm, so he essentially is competing. He's a one-handed man in an ass-kicking contest, essentially, right?
And he is kicking ass.
And he always has been. I remember following this guy for several years, coming up through the rankings. His only loss, for people that question how legit he is Justin Gaethje,
Who is a tank.
who was amazing. And that fight actually was what started Justin Gaethje's title run in World Series of Fighting, because before that, Nick Newell was the man. The only guy that could defeat Nick Newell and end his run there was Justin Gaethje. So
Yeah.
this guy is 100% for real.
This dude is a beast, and he needs to get some like real fights. I want to see him against some real people.
Well, so there's two different questions here, right?
Yeah.
Does he deserve to fight in the UFC, and will he ever fight in the UFC? Before I get your opinions, back in 2013, Dana White was asked about this thing, and he said, quote, "No, never."
He said that about women's divisions. He said that about a women's 145 division. He said that about adding new divisions. He constantly keeps doing this, and then he constantly goes back.
Now let me ask you, there's two different issues here. Does he deserve to fight in the UFC?
Fuck yes.
I 100% think he does. Will he?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. You know what? He might have to destroy everybody for about another 2 years before he does.
At that point, he'll be 33. See, I want to call him a kid, but he's already 31. I remember watching him doing this for 5, 6, 7 years. So,
you know, they didn't want to put in women's divisions, but Ronda Rousey made them. They didn't want to bring Cyborg in, but she kept destroying everybody, and they kept calling for him. If this guy keeps running through everybody the way he is, they will have to do it.
A couple things. Again, I totally think he deserves to fight in the UFC. But do I think he will? No. And this is why. You mentioned the women and things of that nature, and yes, Dana has gone back on his word so many times we can't even count. I'm not arguing that. But ushering in Ronda Rousey and this new era of women's MMA, there was a huge amount of money to be made there with that market. Now, I don't think there's a huge market to be made in amputee mixed martial arts. Now, there is a market there. I know there is, because we have a local fighter here in Illinois, Deion James. I've had him on one of my shows before. He's a very nice young man, and he is a very good fighter as well. There is a market for it, but it's not lucrative like the women's were. So that's one reason, and probably more importantly, number two is this. It's a lose-lose for the UFC, and I mean it like this. Yes, you could promote the shit out of him, and rightfully so. It's a great story. He's accomplished so many things in his life that a person without a disability hasn't achieved. And again, I think he deserves to fight there, but this is the reason why. Let's play this out. Let's say he does get into the UFC against, let's say the aforementioned Justin Gaethje, a rematch. Let's say Justin Gaethje knocks his block off in the first minute, something that's a very realistic possibility. What are the headlines the next morning? UFC lets a one-arm man fight, gets knocked out in 37 seconds.
But what if a guy who is on a 14-1 tear gets knocked out anyways?
Here's the thing. I 100% agree with you. I agree with you.
So,
but do you see?
Yeah, I see where you're
coming from. Do you see
from.
from a UFC standpoint how that's something they would want to avoid completely? Because if you're a corporation, you're Dana, you're the guys really making it. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Yes.
It's not in this case.
Not in this case. Not to have him fight a Justin Gaethje, though.
Who do you bring him in against?
Against one of your top 15 guys. Against one of your top 20 guys,
but okay,
or at least bring him in at the Ultimate Fighter.
Maybe okay, you have me there. Maybe you bring him in the Ultimate Fighter,
or a Tuesday Night Contender series or something.
I'm all for that. I think again, let me clarify. I think he should be in the UFC. I think he's worthy.
Yeah,
and I think you have a point. I think maybe bringing him in the Tuesday Night Contender series, if they bring that back, I think that is the route to go. Yeah,
but throwing him in against Justin Gaethje right off the bat.
I think you could have inserted fighter. I was just saying him. But, any fighter could knock his block off, and I'm not saying they will. I'm just saying that is a situation the UFC is going to think about before they sign this guy. What surprises me even more than that is that Bellator hasn't jumped on his bandwagon.
That's even crazier because they're all about the hype.
Yeah, but they even really haven't shown there's no interest in this from their camp apparently yet. That's very interesting.
Bring him in on the Ultimate Fighter, you might get some hype around that show again.
Another LFA rising star, Ricky Simon, or as he says, Ricky Simone. We had a chance to speak with him. He was also a Tuesday Night Contender Series kid. Here's the interview with Ricky Simone. I want to introduce Ricky Simon to the show. He's LFA's bantamweight champion, and he has a record of 11-1. He has his first title defense coming up at LFA 36 against Vincius Zaney on March 23rd. What's going on, man?
None much. Just about to head to practice. So thanks for having me on.
Yeah, anytime, man. I appreciate you doing this, sneaking me in there before a very tough practice. You know, Ricky, I wanted to ask you, man, you have been in the cage, the octagon, whatever you want to call it. You've been in there with a lot of tough guys, man. Alex Soto, Chico Camus, Eduardo Torres. What do you think was the fight where you really were able to shine, put it all together, so to speak?
If I'm being honest, I still don't think I've really shown what I could do and put it all together. But I think maybe, my last fight was probably my best fight because it was against such a veteran in Chico Camus. So I was able to go out there, and I feel like I did something that no one has ever done in Chico, and he fought some tough people. So I would have to say, that first fight in LFA for the title against Chico was my best fight so far.
That was very impressive, man, as was your Dana White, the Tuesday Night Contender Series, your fight with Donovan Freelo. You won via split decision. It was a very, very entertaining fight, man. How was that whole experience?
It was a great experience, but, it was a 3-week notice kind of deal, during summer, and it was an awesome experience overall, but, I wish I had, a camp. I wish I had time to show, what I could do, but it all seemed kind of rushed, and but, I'm thankful for the experience. It was fun, and it was cool to get to go to Vegas and fight in front of the UFC brass.
Yeah, for sure, man. And you definitely did live up to it, man. It was a great fight. You're only 25 years old. How did you get into fighting?
I started wrestling at a young age, and, I kind of decided not to wrestle in college, and I had a buddy, Jake Smith, who is now, he just had his first fight in Bellator, got a 57-second knockout.
Knockout Steve Cazzola.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. We had Jake on the show.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jake was on the show.
Perfect. I better get a 57-second knockout too then. No, but yeah, we were on the same wrestling team in high school, and then I decided not to wrestle in college, and he was already fighting. He already had a few fights under his belt, and I had just kind of mentioned that I was interested, and he told me to come try it out. So in the beginning, it was just really me and him training together. We were both working, crazy hours, so we would just get together like random times in the morning or at night and start training. And and also like in a sense, I never really thought I was gonna be a fighter or anything like that. But I started like watching, Pride and UFC, when I was really, really young with my dad and my older brother. And I have a brother that's like a year and a half older than me, and we would just beat the crap out of each other growing up. So it's always been kind of, I don't know, might have always been kind of like in my blood or something, but it's worked out pretty good so far.
Very cool, man. Do you still train at Gracie Barra in Portland and Rose City?
Rose City ended up closing down, and then we basically all moved out and started training under Fabiano Scherner at Gracie Barra. So yeah, I'm still training with them. Currently, though, I am training with Tyson Nam in Hawaii. I did that for a little bit of that last camp before I fought Chico. I came out here for a few weeks and trained at Hawaii Elite under Charles. And Tyson was my main training partner back in Portland before he moved back home to Hawaii. So once he moved back home about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, I've been coming out here and training with him and getting ready for my fights.
That's a very good story, man. And you definitely, Tyson and a lot of those guys you train with, Jake you mentioned, growing up with Jake, wrestling with him, you have always been around, high-level fighters, and that definitely translates in the way that you perform, because I think you're one of the guys that is the future of that bantamweight division, I believe, and it's exciting to see. How's the weight cut, man? I mean, I don't think you're necessarily a big or a small. I think you're actually just right in the bantamweight division. You're like the perfect size for that division. But is the weight cut, is it hard on you?
Yeah, man. I have like a weird body style. Like I feel like I'm a perfect height for the division, but man, I don't know what it is. I just get so big. So I've been trying to keep that under control and keep my weight under control. Training 5-round fights makes things a lot easier on the weight cut part, because you're training a little bit more, so the weight seems to come off a little bit easier. But it's still hard, especially out here in Hawaii. We have so much good food out here and stuff like that, so it's hard to find somewhere healthy to eat all your meals. But especially after that Dana White Contender Series show, I decided to not let myself get up too high in weight anymore, and I've been keeping my weight pretty low to where I can make weight, on short notice, because that Dana White Contender Series weight cut was pretty rough.
And that's how it's going to happen too, man. They got your number. They have their eye on you, and if they need a last-minute replacement, you're going to be one of those guys they consider calling. So it's definitely it's always wise to stay ready, right? I know that you do a lot of social media. Would you like to share that with everybody?
They can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Simone135.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate your time, man. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, I just want to thank you for having me on. Thank my team, Gracie Bahan, Hawaii Elite, and all my sponsors. Thanks for everything, guys.
Real quick, if you could, Ricky, we kind of have a tradition here, man. If you could just say, this is Ricky Simon, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast.
This is Ricky Simone, and you're listening to Did You See That Shit podcast.
I appreciate it, brother.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.
There you go.
Seems like he's ready for some stuff, man.
Yeah, for sure. And he mentioned in the interview there, man, growing up, he definitely, was always around guys.
Ridiculous,
that
talent.
Team.
Wow, I would want to be in that wrestling room. I get my butt kicked, but I want to be in it.
So let's take a look at some of these possible fights coming up here, man. Rory MacDonald called out the winner of Gegard Mousasi and Rafael Carvalho for the middleweight title. He tweeted, I quote, "I agree to fight the winner of the aforementioned fight after I defend my 175-pound title. Let's do it on the same night." So what do you make of this?
He's always looked like a crazy person to me. When you see Rory MacDonald, you kind of go you know what? If he killed a couple people, you wouldn't be surprised.
Very American Psycho-esque.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Canadian Psycho, actually.
Mm-hmm. That was his nickname for a while, I believe.
He would do some crazy stuff like that. I could see him you know what? I'll fight Gegard and him on the same night and have no issue with it.
Do you think this happens, though?
Him fighting for the middleweight strap?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could see it happen.
I can see Gegard winning the middleweight strap, him versus Roy. That's a great fight. But first, man, I kind of want to see Roy clean up his division a little bit. Because I feel the welterweight division is a stacked division. And,
yeah, there's some guys there.
And I really want to see him against all the top guys. You got John Fitch in the mix now. That's a fight I dream of right now.
Let me ask you this then, Apollo. Are you more intrigued by Rory MacDonald and Gegard Mousasi for the middleweight strap, or Max Holloway and Brian Ortega? Because Max Holloway's stoked to finally have a guy of Ortega's quality ready to be a #1 contender.
I hopped on the T-City bandwagon hard after he knocked out Frankie Edgar. I'm worse than Brendan Schaub right now on hopping on this bandwagon. I'm way more excited for that than anything that's happening in Bellator. I'm sorry, Bellator. Your 170 division is the best out there, but, man, T-City. Man, I really want to see that fight. I really want to see it. My nipples are hard.
Yeah, Ortega and Holloway is a fight that is really exciting, man. I'm excited about a lot of those fights, man. We're just going to have to wait and see. Well, we won't have to wait too long to see Mirko Cro Cop back in action, man. Do you know about this whole USADA situation?
I have no clue. I just know he went to Ryzen and juiced back up.
Well, he definitely went to Ryzen, juicing up perhaps. We don't know. That's speculation. So basically, real quick, this is the situation, right? USADA suspended Mirko for 2 years, I believe. USADA is a organization that is affiliated and paid by the UFC. So their sanctions really don't have effect in other states' commissions unless the other state recognizes that suspension. And a lot of states do. But Mirko is set to fight Roy Nelson in London, and people are now making a big deal out of this. And I don't understand why completely, because Mirko has been fighting this whole time, as you mentioned, in Risen. But people are only making a deal out of it now because it's Bellator and they should be held to a higher standard, or I don't understand.
If we're cool with him doing some crazy thing like winning a one-night tournament and most likely speculative with Mexican supplements, then I have no issue with him fighting in Bellator. People need to stop. I want to see Mirko fight. I want to see, left kick hospital, right kick cemetery again, man.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him fight Roy Nelson too, actually, for the second time. That's not the issue, but the issue people are making a big deal about is the fact that Bellator should recognize this sanction. I really don't see the argument there. I mean, I do see it, but I don't really subscribe to it.
No.
Well, a gentleman that there is no controversy surrounding right now is a guy named Austin Arnett. He was another Tuesday Night Contender Series fighter and another Washington kid, as a matter of fact. We had a chance to catch up with him, and here's our conversation with the Golden Boy. I want to welcome Austin, the Golden Boy Arnett, to the show. He's a featherweight fighter. He has a record of 15-4. He's only 26 years old. So what is next for Austin? What's going on, brother?
Not much, man. Just hanging out down in Vegas right now, doing some training.
Are you at Syndicate?
Yeah, we've been training at Syndicate and then the UFC PI as well.
Oh, very cool, man. I haven't got a chance to go out to the Performance Institute yet, but I've heard amazing things. How is that place?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, it's just state-of-the-art. Everything's the best of the best, So you got the best strength and conditioning, awesome food. You got the MMA training facility parts, the full cage. I mean, nutritionist, you got physical therapist on hand. I mean, it's just everything you could want for a training camp.
And you, as an UFC athlete, you get to take advantage of all that for free, right?
Yes, exactly. So yeah, that's the other awesome part. It's free.
Yeah, free is good, man. I saw on
Yeah.
I saw on Twitter the other day, you, Cowboy, Michael Chiesa, you guys look like you were having almost too much fun. Where were you guys at?
Yeah, I forget which one that was now.
I think
But yeah,
you had a beer in your hand or something, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was at the PI. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, yeah, it was at PI. So we've been doing strength conditioning, our MMA training at Syndicate.
Man, you guys look like you're having a good time there. What is next for you? Do you have any fights slated? Has the UFC offered you anything?
Yeah, not right now. I'm just kind of taking some time off, trying to improve my skills right now, and just get better before I jump into my next fight. You know, I know the next fight's a big one that I got to win for sure, and I want to be as well prepared as I can. That's why I'm out here in Vegas. You know, developing new skills, trying to get better and improve as much as I can. And then at the same time, I'm helping out, you know, one of my good friends, Mike Chiesa, getting him ready for his Anthony Pettis fight. So it's just kind of a killing two birds with one stone. I'm getting better for myself, and then I'm also helping my buddy out and get him ready for his fight.
For sure, man. You know, you are a very well-rounded, complete fighter, if you will, and as well as Michael Chiesa. But it's no secret that Chiesa, his jiu-jitsu is, you know, that his jiu-jitsu is super high level. So I imagine rolling with a guy like that on a daily basis, is that take your BJJ game? Is that taking it to a whole nother level?
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, his ground game's awesome. Getting beat up by him all the time is only going to make me better. And yeah, I mean, that's just how you get better in the sport. You gotta go with good guys that are going to beat you up and put you in bad position. And I definitely get that.
Now, you had probably one of the most memorable matches on the Dana White Contender Series, man. That was just it was so enjoyable, the whole entire fight. It was there really wasn't a loser in that fight. But what was your overall experience of that? Was that a good experience?
Yeah, I mean, it was a great, exciting fight. You know, it was a ton of fun. That was the most fun I had in a fight was that Dana White fight, Contender Series fight. But, you know, there's some things I would have liked to obviously done different. I feel a couple things would have gone a little different. That fight would have been drastically different in my favor, but that's just how fights go, you know. And but yeah, it was a fun fight. Obviously, I would have rather won the fight, but things happen for a reason, and then here I am now. So.
Now, you fought at featherweight, lightweight. Where do you feel that you performed the best?
Definitely featherweight. The lightweight guys, they're just too big, man. The frames, there's big guys. I train with a lot of lightweights. You know, Mike Chiesa, he's a huge lightweight. Whenever you go with him, you realize, you know, that's definitely not a division for me. Featherweight's where my division is and where I'm going to stay for my career as of now, at least.
For sure, man. Yeah, those guys are walking around at like 170 sometimes, man. So kind of going away from fighting here, let me ask you, I'm going to give you three choices here. If you have to beat one up, marry one, and have one as your side girlfriend, who would you choose to do? Cyborg, Kunitsaya, or Ronda Rousey?
Beat one up, and what was the other one?
You got to beat
wife one and then side girl? Yeah,
you got to beat one up, wife one, and side girl.
Okay, beat up would probably be Cyborg.
Okay.
Well, who's the other two? Rousey and who else was it?
Kunitsaya.
Oh yeah, I'll probably wife her. Take Ronda.
I might agree with you on all those, man. What do you do for fun, man? Are you a video gamer, or do you just Netflix and chill?
Yeah, play a little bit of video games, not a ton, not as much as I did when I was younger. I'm a big golfer. I play, so, you know, right now, in the spring and summertime, I'm all about golf. I'm trying to be out there as much as you can, and then on the river, beaching it during the summer too is a fun thing. But yeah, probably like today, I would have to say it's probably golf. That's what I'm doing most of the time in the spring and summer.
The weather's starting to change for the better for that, for sure, man. Where can everybody follow you on social media?
Yeah, so Instagram, Arnett509. My Twitter handle, Austin Arnett MMA. So yeah, you can find me on both those.
Well, I want to thank you for your time, man. I can't wait to see what is next for you. If you could, man, could you do a favor for me? We have a little tradition here on the show. Yeah. Could you say, this is Austin Arnett, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast?
Yeah, this is Austin Arnett, and you are listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast.
I appreciate it so much, brother.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.
That definitely was not at PI, at the Performance Institute.
You're talking about the picture
with the beer
in his hand?
Yeah. Well, if so, he's the gangsterest dude I ever seen. Just like, yo, I'm going to train, drink beer, and knock people out. Like, it makes sense. You're hanging out with Cowboy.
So one of the ideas that you and I had, man, was this Combat Sports March Madness thing. Let's briefly explain it real quick here. It's something we're going to do via a series of 3 live streams on YouTube the month of March.
Yep.
We're going to do it on the Missing Time Productions channel on YouTube, which is the same channel that all of our podcasts post to. So if you're familiar with it, it's just Missing Time Productions. You can search the Did You See That Shit podcast, and it'll pop up.
Go like and subscribe.
Basically what it is me and Apollo have searched long and hard for the 64 best combat sports fighters of all time. When we say combat sports, we mean mixed martial arts and boxing.
Yeah, now anybody who sits there and wants to get mad at us and go, well, what about kickboxing? Well, I'm sorry.
There's some kickboxers in here. But
there's a few, but I'm sorry. Kickboxing just isn't as popular as regular boxing.
Basically, we took the idea from the basketball March Madness. We took the 64 best. We're going to do a series of 3 live streams. The first one, we're going to kind of introduce all the fighters, talk about some of the ones that almost made the cut.
There's a lot.
And then we will get the debate started. We're going to randomly assign all of these fighters into brackets, and then we'll debate each fight. There will be 3 of us on the panel, and whichever fighter gets 2 out of the 3 nods, we'll move on each round. And we're going to break this down to 3 live streams, and it will be fun as a motherfucker, and we'll see who is the baddest dude of all time.
You know what? I'm very excited for this.
Oh, you're what?
No, man, this is gonna be super dope, guys. If you
something I would definitely watch.
I would watch this.
See.
And this is why we are the fastest growing podcast out here, because we're doing stuff like this. We're innovating.
We do stuff that we would want to see. Really,
exactly, guys. We're true fans. We also like debating.
All these athletes that we've chosen for this, they're to be considered at their peak physical athletic prowess. So take it for whatever age you want or fight you want. But each fighter is
TRT Vitor did not end up on this list.
Or did he?
Ooh, you got to check live stream out for that, man. Oh, and check our Twitter and Instagram for the times when these live streams will be going up. You don't want to miss.
So UFC Fight Night 127, Verdum versus Volkov, otherwise known as UFC London, it takes place Saturday afternoon.
I'm a little depressed that Michael Bisping is not on this.
Now, this is a Fight Pass only card. So if you don't have Fight Pass, you ain't watching this.
I don't know why you don't have Fight Pass. What's wrong with you guys?
I don't know. I do.
I used your account.
There you go. Of course, Fight Pass, we don't do that. Let's briefly go over the main card here of Fabricio Verdum, the number 3 ranked heavyweight in the world, going against Alexander Volkov, the number 8 ranked heavyweight in the world. What are your thoughts?
This feels like the Frankie Edgar versus Brian Ortega situation where Verdum...
You are literally the first person to ever say that.
But Verdum, in my opinion, deserves a title shot. He's been on a good win streak. He's been very impressive. And he doesn't need to take this fight.
I love Verdum.
I love him too.
I'm a huge fan of Alistair Overeem, and I thought Verdum beat him that last fight.
I was there with you. I feel that Verdum deserves a title shot. He's probably next-ish in line.
So you're saying that this feels like the Frankie Edgar Ortega fight in terms of you think Volkov could easily beat Verdum and fuck his title shot up?
Yes, because Volkov is a very dangerous motherfucker.
Who do you think? Who are you picking?
I'm gonna go with Verdum only for just the experience, and he's just everywhere he can be good.
Would it surprise you if I told you Verdum's record is 23-7-1 and Volkov is 29-7? So experience kind of doesn't really play there. But in ranking wise and where you're about to go to the title, about quality of opponent.
Yeah, where I feel like Volkov, he can easily fuck up Verdum. He can fuck up anybody in the heavyweight division, in my opinion.
He's a tricky dude.
He reminds me a lot of...
so heavy on his feet, but good.
And he's so fast and long. He's just and he got the Moana tattoo. You don't want to fuck with that.
But you're going Verdum.
Yeah, I'm going Verdum, man.
All right, I'm going to go Volkov here, and I don't really know why. because I'm a big Verdum fan. I think he, as you said, I think he should be the number one guy. I think he should be challenging for the title.
The fact that he's number 3 and Overeem's number 2 is a travesty.
Yeah, it's, I don't know what it is. That might be the right word, but I think Volkov does. I think he upsets him here. I think Volkov is going to get his due this year one way or another. I think this is the fight, man. I think he knocks him out. I don't know when. I just think he does it. And, I think this fight could go to the ground.
Yeah, Verdum fucks anybody up.
But you have to respect Volkov. He's very sneaky. No one's better than Verdum right now in the heavyweight division, but Volkov is tricky. That's all I'm saying.
Does Verdum get to have his boomerang?
That changes things. In the co-main event, Jimmy Manuwa, the number 4 ranked light heavyweight, going against Jan Blachowicz, the number 11th guy. What are you thinking here? I'll tell you what I'm thinking.
Really?
I'm thinking Jan Blachowicz knocks out Manuwa.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
I don't think Jimmy Manuwa is that good of a fighter.
No, he's not. He's just a knockout artist.
He's been exposed, I believe, by a lot of different guys. And I think Jan Blachowicz, I think he has the power to knock him out. I think he has the skill to knock him out. And I also think he has the skill to beat him on the ground. So I just think that he's better everywhere.
When you told me that he was ranked number 4, I was going like, what's wrong with the light heavyweight division?
Exactly.
That's so sad.
Well, who are you going here?
Man, I'm going to be a hype bitch. Jimmy Manuwa.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, he hits so... I've seen him knock out too many people when I doubted him wrong, so I'm just going to go with him. Every time I count him out, he knocks someone out, so I'm just going to go on his side finally. God damn it.
And then Tom Duquesnoy, he's going against Terrion Ware. Duquesnoy is a guy that Cody Stamen kind of derailed a little bit of his hype train not too long ago. He's looking to get back. Terrion Ware is a gentleman that I've been in communication with. We're going to speak with him shortly after this fight. Very interesting fight here because Tom Duquesnoy is a guy that needs to get back on track. Terrion Ware needs to win this fight. He just lost to Sugar Sean O'Malley too long ago.
I could see this being a war.
This is going to be a war. They're both essentially fighting for their... Well, I don't know if Duquesnoy's fighting for his job, but Ware definitely is fighting for his UFC livelihood here.
When they're both coming off the losses, especially the losses they came off of, they're fighting for their lives. It's going to be fireworks in there.
For sure. And then the main card gets started with Leon Edwards and Peter Sobota. This is a very fun fight. Now, at first glance, you might think, why? Leon Edwards does have the skill to be an exciting fighter. His last fight against Bryan Barberena, he laid an egg, I would say, in some of the rounds. But Barbarina is a dangerous fighter. We actually had a chance to speak with him. We'll play that shortly here. But first, let's get your thoughts on this fight. Leon Edwards, Peter Sobota. Leon Edwards is actually the number 15th welterweight in the world right now.
This is a very interesting fight for a lot of reasons, just style matchup, and especially where it's placed. The UFC matchmakers at this weight class kind of know what they're doing, and they tend to put really good fights on at the lower ranked division people. And
Edwards is a guy that has a big following in the UK.
Yeah. I looked at it at first and I go, why? And then we talked a little bit. I did a little research. I got to say, it just seems stylistically like it's going to be an exciting fight in a very exciting place in London. But this fight card is going to be very, very exciting.
It's a decent fight card. I wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be shocking because it's not only going to set up the future, and that's what I'm excited about.
You know, I will say this though. Oftentimes, when there are cards that are underwhelming on paper, they tend to be surprising.
Yeah, because a lot of these guys are fighting for their lives.
So, Leon Edwards, Peter Sobota. Who are you picking?
Can I not pick?
I'm gonna go Edwards.
You know what? Because I feel like being a dick. I'm going to go with Sobota.
Ooh, disagree again. So we disagree on every fight on the main card, right?
Yeah. 1, because I'm being a hype train bitch. And 2, because I believe in Verdum.
As we just said, Leon Edwards' last fight, he beat Bryan Barberena. We had a chance to speak with him. Very cool dude. Here's our conversation with Bryan Bam Bam Barberena. I want to welcome Bryan Bam Bam Barberena. He's a UFC welterweight, and he has a record of 13-5. I know he has big plans this year. He had kind of a rough ending to 2017, but what's going on, Bryan?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. I think that you're one of the more underrated guys in the entire UFC. Man, I can't wait for you to get back to action because I really enjoy your fighting style. I really enjoy all the guys at the lab. I really like their hard-nosed, aggressive fighting style. Jordan Johnson, Drakkar Klose, you. I really think that you guys have an aggressive grappling style that not many guys can figure out, man. So I'm excited to be speaking with you, man. But first things first, how's your health? I know that you had foot surgery late last year. Are you back to full strength?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm not quite 100% yet. I'm still doing physical therapy, but every day's a win, and every day's getting stronger and even better. And honestly, I can't wait to get back in the cage. And after that loss at the end of the year, left a sour taste in my mouth, and I can't just wait to go make that up.
Yeah, that was a close fight. I didn't think you lost the fight, man. How did you feel about that decision, though?
I thought it was, I guess it was fair, It was up to the third round. I thought he won the first, I won the second. He won the first not by much. Both of us we didn't do a whole lot in the first, I guess, and just didn't get started. Second, I dropped him, almost finished him. Went to the third. He was able to get a takedown and control me most of the round, and that was pretty much it. I stood up, hit him with some punches, but wasn't able to really implement my game plan the way I liked.
Well, that's a very honest assessment, man, because I honestly, in that third round, yeah, he got a takedown, but it really looked like to me that he was just trying to hold you down. And, as soon as you got to the feet, you were trying to win the fight. So, if it was me judging it, it would have been a different outcome. But,
well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, I was trying to, finish him the whole time, trying to give action. He was just trying to hold me most of the time, but, that's part of mixed martial arts sometimes, and the judges see that, and sometimes it doesn't really, they favor that a lot more. So I can't do anything about it. I just work my takedown defense some more, work my get-ups more, and just be better for next time.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I mentioned some of the guys you train with at the lab. Benson Henderson's another guy. He just performed at Polaris 6. Did you get a chance to watch that?
I did watch that. It was awesome.
Man, he looked really good. Would you ever consider doing something like that?
I've always wanted to try grappling tournament and stuff like that and try it out. I've never signed up. I've never done it, but it's always something I've been wanting to do. So I could definitely see myself doing something like that in the future.
I know you want to have a busy 2018. When do you think we'll get to see Bam Bam back?
Right now I'm shooting for June or July. Recovery's going good. My foot's strong. I'm only trying to make it stronger and get back to 100% and get back into the gym and training like I normally do. So I'm hoping for June or July, and whoever matches up with me should look forward to that.
Well, UFC has a big June card for the first time ever. They're going to have a pay-per-view in Chicago. I'm from Chicago. That's where I do the show out of, so that's why I bring that up. We'd love to have you here on that card, man.
That'd be awesome. What's the date on that?
It's June 9th.
Okay, nice.
So it lines right up there.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to have you, man. I've been speaking to a lot of lab guys lately. I mentioned Drakkar, Jordan Johnson. I got to speak with a while back. He is a new father. Congratulations again, by the way. I think you guys, man, you have a really aggressive grappling style. Not many guys can handle it. You, Drakkar, Jordan, you guys are just so hard-nosed and tough. Is that something that you guys breed at the MMA lab, or are you guys drawn to there because of your personalities?
Jordan Johnson's actually not at the lab anymore. He's he was at the lab back in the day. He's a good friend of mine. I support him and everything, and congratulations on his baby. But yeah, he's no longer at the lab. He's doing big things and looking to come up. As far as everybody else at the lab and everything, I'm actually not a big grappler guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love to grapple, and I have that in my repertoire, but I'm more of a striker guy. I like to stand up. I like to throw hands. I like to bang. That's more my style. If it goes to the ground, sure, I'm cool with it. I'm comfortable there. And I've shown a couple things, I guess, in the UFC. But, I love to stand up and bang. And, at the lab, everybody, we are attracted to that, atmosphere. It's a real family team atmosphere. And all the people there are great. And we're not just there for ourselves. We're all there to help each other out and make each other better and help each other's dreams come true. I actually just moved to Tennessee. I'm in Tennessee now, and I'll be going for my camps and stuff and back to the lab, and I really miss those guys, and missed training there, but that's something. The move was, something I want to do for myself and my family and my kids, and me and my wife have been talking about it for a while, and we decided to make the move and change our lifestyle. But I'll definitely be going back to the lab because it's something, those guys are my family, and I look forward to getting back there. They just opened a new gym too.
Did they?
Yeah, brand new. It just opened a new facility, bigger, nice, super cool. So everybody who's listening, if you're in the Phoenix area, Glendale, Arizona, go check out the MMA Lab.
Very cool, man. Real quick before I let you go, man, I was kind of stalking you on Twitter, just before this to try to get some, good pieces of info, talking points, man. I was doing it last night, and my wife, she's not a huge mixed martial arts fan, but she has her favorite guys, like she was a big Forrest fan, she was a big Chuck Liddell fan, right? She loved her GSP.
Those are legit ones.
Well, I gotta say, brother, you're her new favorite fighter, and she's never even seen you fight. You know why it is, man? She saw the picture of you that you posted with your 3 dogs.
Yeah.
She's a big animal lover, brother, and she loves your dogs. She's like, this is my new favorite fighter. I'm like, you haven't even seen him fight yet. She's like, I don't need to. His pictures he's posting here. And so, well, he's a pretty good fighter too. So, but what kind of dog is that? A wolf?
Actually, it's a husky, but he was shaving really bad, and so we shaved him down, so his fur's real short. But he's starting to get his color back. He was all white there for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's pretty,
then,
man.
Yeah, and then I got the miniature dachshund and then an American bully.
Yeah, you got some nice dogs there, and I guess I owe my wife because she said that was a husky too, and I said no, I think that's a wolf, but she was right. So.
Yeah, I like to call him the White Walker. He's got these like solid white eyes. So.
Yeah, beautiful, man. I'm an animal lover, as I'm sure you are too. And are you a hunter too?
I'm actually I've never hunted. It's something I will be doing in the future. I want to do just to try out, and I will be 100% eating whatever I kill. So. Bringing in for meat, but yeah, we just we moved out to Tennessee. We always wanted a ranch, have a little farm. We just got 15 chicks. Going to be raising those for eggs. We're looking at getting cattle and goats, and just having the whole farm lifestyle.
That's it, man. Living the life. I appreciate it, man. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I just want to say thanks to the MMA Lab for being my gym and being my family and being there for me and helping me get to the next level and pushing me every time. Thanks for Shield Systems Academy here in Tennessee in Knoxville. There will be my new gym while I'm here in Tennessee, and a lot of great people there. I want to thank my wife and my kids. I love them very much. They're always been supportive on this journey of fighting and this lifestyle and everything we do. I love them, and I owe where I'm at to them. And thank you everybody who supports me and likes to watch me fight.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I think that you're one of the good guys. I can't wait for you to get back into the cage. Hopefully we get you on the Chicago card, but no matter who gets you, I know it's going to be an exciting fight. Could I ask you for a favor, man? We kind of have a tradition here. Could you say this is Bryan Barberena and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast?
This is Bryan Bam Bam Barberena, and you're listening to the Did You See That Shit podcast.
Man, I appreciate it, Bryan.
Yeah, no problem, man.
All right.
Bam, bam.
Very nice guy again. Thanks, Bryan, for your time. I know that you're a busy dude down there, and man, just a real dude. Real dude.
Real G, man. He won that fight. I don't care what anybody says.
Man,
you
third
can't.
round, though.
I want to have this conversation with you because I've been thinking about it a lot. What is considered getting points on top? Because a lot of people just feel if you get a takedown, then all of a sudden you're winning the round. You have to do something with that takedown.
Yeah. That's a prime example of it, man. That fight that Bryan Barberena had with Leon Edwards, man. Watch that fight if you don't know what we're talking about. That's exactly that. How do you score it? Also, I just want to give a quick shout out on the undercard for this weekend's event. Oliver Enkamp, 7-1 Swedish striker. Keep an eye on him. Scotland's Stevie Ray is fighting. And maybe the best name and nickname in all of MMA, Mark, the Hand of Godbeer.
Is his last name Godbeard?
His last name is Godbeer. Godbeer.
Godbeer.
Mark, the Hand of Godbeer.
Godbeard.
Mark, the Hand of Godbeer. Maybe the best name and nickname ever.
I have never heard this guy talk, but I hope he talks like this.
Friend of the show, Sam Alvey, gets his way. If you remember his last victory, his crazy knockout win, he then called out Gian Villante at UFC Utica. He gets his wish, man. Quick turnaround.
I'm happy anytime Sam Alvey is happy to fight somebody.
Yeah.
Sam Alvey makes me happy.
We'll reach out to him, try to get him back on before that fight. We mentioned last episode about Cynthia Calvillo, how she had the USADA suspension for 6 months. Well, guess what? Apparently the Nevada Athletic Commission didn't feel that was enough. They hit her with another 3 months. Now that's totaling 9. Then they hit her with another $6,150, which equates to 15% of her purse. She is eligible back to fight September 30th. All this for the marijuana metabolites in her system. Wow.
Bullshit.
I don't love you.
Fuck, that's bullshit, man.
Yeah, they rammed it to her pretty good.
What the fuck? Where was this in? Nevada?
That was the Nevada Athletic Commission, yeah.
Oh, so Nevada, it's cool for, coke and hookers, but immediately I smoke a little bit of weed, we have an issue.
Well, I thought that as of the first of this year in Nevada, I thought that cannabis use was legal now, so I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know. It just
the 3 month suspension for me, I felt it was harsh. I felt it was bullshit, but you know what? Fuck it. 3 month suspension.
It's 9 months.
Now it's fucking 9 months?
USADA gave her 6. And then Nevada gave her 9, but it runs concurrent, so basically an additional 3. So it's a total of 9.
So I'm going to say, though, 6 months harsh.
Anything is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but adding an extra 3, why the fuck do you guys need to add more onto that shit? You know what? This is why no one wants to fucking fight Nevada right now. Fuck.
And then GSP tweeted last night a picture of himself on a plane. The tweet read, I quote, "I literally sprinted full speed across Pearson Airport to catch my flight. Sorry to those screaming at me to take pictures. I couldn't stop, but I made it." And then he tweeted a picture of him with earbuds on, and he was on a plane. I thought that was pretty cool, and then it got me thinking, have you ever, randomly ran into, a celebrity? Has that ever happened to you?
Quite a few times.
Tell me about the craziest, biggest one.
I did run into Johnny Depp.
Really?
In Madison, Wisconsin.
This is for real?
Yes, I was skateboarding downtown. This is when they're filming the movie Public Enemy.
Really?
Yes. So I was skateboarding downtown.
They filmed some of that in Geneva, Illinois, too.
Yeah, but it was primarily downtown Madison because that was where the hideout was. Mm-hmm. So they had the little coffee shop. So we're skating, and we would always go to this.
Did you stay up there? Or?
Yeah, that's where I lived. That's where I'm from.
Oh,
I was born in Madison.
Okay.
Northside, baby. 608. Yeah, I'm just like the Diaz brothers. I call them my area code, bitches.
708, son.
708. No, but we're...
I rep 630 now.
We took the bus downtown, started skateboarding, and we always stopped at this little coffee cafe shop from the college because it's a fucking dope place to go. And we walk in there, and they're closed off. Half of the fucking room.
You knew someone got murdered or something.
Yeah,
cool
I was like, yo, who got murked up in here? Because I was like, wow, this is cool. Apparently, Johnny Depp had security and had half of the fucking place knocked off. So we couldn't even get a fucking table or anything like that. And yeah, we're 12 years old. So
you were 12 years old.
Yeah, I was 12 years old, just chilling down there.
You took a bus to Madison, Wisconsin at 12 years old.
We were in Madison. We took it downtown. We were 12, living in Madison. We just went downtown.
I got you.
Yeah, that's what you fucking do when you live in the city. You take a bus, you take a train, you chill. You don't got no parental shit when that happens. But we're fucking down there, and I go outside, and I see him in this fucking reading a book or something, drinking coffee with 19 bracelets.
And where was he?
He was in this little fucking coffee shop in downtown Madison.
No one was around him?
No, because he blocked off half of the fucking shit.
Right, so no one was going to get through.
Yeah.
How did you get through?
We didn't. We walked outside. Because we walk in and they're like, we're not serving anybody.
Okay.
So then we walk outside and we're like, yo, this is bullshit. I see him. I fucking flip him off.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I flip him the bird. I get on my board and I just go by the window with the longest bird.
Did he see you?
I don't think he looked up, but I hope my fucking middle finger shined through his 1900 bracelets. You know what? I like his movies, but fucking block off an entire goddamn fucking restaurant that I like.
If any of our listeners have any stories, man, what do you think? Hashtag #ICCeleb?
Yeah, hashtag #ICCeleb. No, nobody, don't go up out of your way to fuck with people, though.
No, I'm saying if it's ever happened to you already.
But, some people want, some people want to, get stories to, be a part of the conversation. No, if you don't have a story, don't go fuck with people. These are people, too.
Did you see what actor got busted for having sex with a beagle?